Good evening, Vineyard family. It's so good to be with all of you today, Thursday. My name is Jenny, and it is a joy to be with all of you. Today, we are going to be sharing a little bit more about what's going to be happening with our global outreach to Honduras. I'm letting all of those who are tuning in to be able to share if you are watching, whether you are from YouTube or from Facebook. Welcome. We are so glad you are here. My name is Jenny Sasson. I'm the Hispanic pastor here at Vineyard Cincinnati, and we are so glad you are here. Again, we are traveling to our global outreach this October. We are going to be empowering in 3 communities that are in remote areas of that precious country, located in the heart of Central America. This country is very dear to my heart because it's the country where I was born and raised. And for me, it's just a blessing to be able to go back every year, bringing the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, and also bringing practical ways for people to grow in those communities. We are bringing electric in this opportunity, and we are partnering with SonLight Power, and we are going to have some guests with us tonight that are going to be sharing a little bit more about our global outreach to Honduras. So stay tuned, and in the meantime, while you are watching, I hope you can give me some feedback, or if you are able to listen to me correctly. I don't know if you are able to see and hear me okay. Please comment in this comment section below. I would like to hear from you where you are watching from. I would love to hear in the comment section. We are going to be sending some greetings later in this program. Well, I have a video to share with all of you that can give you a little bit of context of what is that we do every year in Honduras. And as I mentioned, Vineyard Cincinnati Church is partnering with SonLight Power to bring solar energy to 3 remote areas in Honduras. So let me show you this video from a few years ago that we were partnering with the church. And let me show you in a moment this community which we visited. Enjoy.
God sent us to bring light, not just the physical light, but to light up their hearts as well. We have some teammates coming from different regions in the U.S., and we are coming to Juticalpa, Honduras, to install solar systems in 3 schools in the region of Yamaranguila and Tibuca. So locally, we partner with the church called Abundant Life or Vida Abundante. We have these 3 schools from 3 communities without access to electricity. So we are installing systems in the 3 schools.
Putting solar power in an area that has no electricity whatsoever. So this particular school has 60 plus kids in it. So you're talking a community of 300-400 people that have no power anywhere close. I mean, it takes us an hour off grid to get to these kind of locations. Without electricity, come the end of the day, they have no opportunities to advance because there's no power. So the ability to come in and provide the solar gives the kids an ability to come back and get further education. It's generational.
I think what SonLight Power does is really important, and it has an impact in the community, not only in the classrooms for the students to have access to information, but also affects the community because the community has access more information in a better ways for their children. I think it's also very important for people to participate, to feel that they are part of what's happening in the community, involving locals and also people that are not from that community but from Honduras. It's great because that way we can feel part of the project and take care of the project.
These systems that we install, they're not only life-changing, they're life-saving. We're back home, a kid with asthma, it's not a big thing, and plug in your breathing machine and he gets taken care of. And here it's these people are literally walking 10, 20, 30, 40 miles to get to somewhere like that. And if that machine's not available or the power's not there, it literally could be saving a life.
SonLight Power is not only providing like clean energy, but also the light, the gospel will be transmitted, and that is very important.
The seeds that we planted, God's watering and taking care of those, but with Vida Abundante involved, we know that they're being watered and cared for. So that's huge. That's huge.
Amazing. We are back. You get to see a little bit about one of our recent trips. And I'm not alone. I'm here with Kevin Sassen, Executive Director of SonLight Power, and also my husband. And we are going to be co-leading this global outreach to Honduras. Welcome. Thank you for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be here, Jenny.
All right. Thank you for being with us. And if you can tell us a little bit more about you, who you are, and what is your role with SonLight Power, and what is your expectation for this global outreach?
Wow. So I was involved with SonLight Power going back to 2004. I was living out in the San Francisco Bay Area, and a friend of mine invited me on a trip to Honduras with a group called SonLight Power. That first trip changed the trajectory of my life. I just got hooked on the first trip. And let me just say, you don't have to be a solar expert or an electrician, a master in construction to really make an impact on these trips. I was a case in point. Have a journalism degree, worked in the marketing business before I started with SonLight Power. But on that first trip, I realized just how much this mission makes sense to the people we serve. There's some billion people around the world living without reliable electricity. Electricity that we take for granted for preserving food and medicines, for basic lighting in classrooms and clinics and so forth. Think about water pumping, just the basic power to pump water where water is scarce. That's what SonLight Power does. It comes alongside communities to equip them with the essential electricity they need to improve the quality of life, basically, and save lives in some cases. But even more than that, we're using the power of the sun, S-O-N, to transform lives in places where there's a lot of spiritual neglect. Where there's energy poverty, there's also spiritual poverty. There's this spiritual sense of neglect, feeling abandoned. And a lot of what our teams do is come alongside these communities in a real way to show them that Jesus loves them.
That's powerful. And that's what we are all about. And that's why we align so well with the mission of SonLight Power. And I say we because I represent our Vineyard Community Church in this opportunity. We are partnering and we are bringing up to 15 people. That's the goal.
15.
To bring 15 people with us to Honduras to be able to share the gospel in a practical way with these communities. And thank you for joining this live video. And I will just invite you to comment in the section below. Mr. Bob is saying hello. He is tuning in right now. Thank you for being with us. And if you are watching, let us know where you are watching from, and don't hesitate to share this video with other people so that they also get to know about the global outreach to Honduras. today. And here at the Vineyard, we are all about loving well, doing good, and giving all away. So we are being generous with these communities in the same way God has been generous to us. So we are gonna be sharing the good news of Jesus, and we are very, very excited about that. So thank you for being with us, and we are not alone. We have here with us special guest from far, far away.
Very special guest.
Very special guest, and I would like to introduce to all of you Sara Reyes, who is joining us all the way from Honduras. Sarita, how are you doing today?
Hola Jenny, hola Kevin, hola a todos from
Mhm.
Honduras.
Yes, hola from Honduras. We are so excited to have you with us today. We have people watching from all over the states, and I'm pretty sure we have people joining us from all parts of the world. So, Sara, tell us a little bit more about what you do with SonLight.
Okay, I also got involved and really appreciate Sunlight's mission from the first time I got a call from Jenny. Jenny is a good citizen from Honduras, and she wanted to bring that aid and that helps to public schools in Honduras. So she called me and she says, "Do you want to partner up? Do you want to help us do some logistics?" Find some of schools that we can work with, and she introduced a little bit of what will the team be doing for a week. And it's not until you get to a mission that you see really the work and all the good that you can do in a community, that you realize what your effort is worth for a small community without access to energy.
But missions is it's in your DNA too, because you are the daughter of a very well-known pastor in Honduras, Pastor Evelio Reyes, and he pastors Abundant Life Church. And we partner with this wonderful church, and all the good work that you guys are doing in Honduras. It's amazing. And for decades, you've been serving the people of Honduras through education and health. And I think it was an easy connection, back in the day. I think it goes back in the day when I used to work for Enlace TBN, that also belongs to Abundant Life Church. So those connections were really meaningful without knowing that the Lord was going to bring us back together to bring support to the people of Honduras. And we are excited. We are excited to be partnering with you. And you are a key team leader for our mission in Honduras, because you do what you do so well. You, your husband, your family, helping lead logistics and helping everybody involved in the mission feel comfortable and feel safe every time we come and do missionary work in the mission field. So how do you feel about another team coming very soon?
Yes, I'm really excited, and particularly the particular or the special um, thing about the missions with SonLight Power is that you don't have to have any expertise. As Kevin was saying, you don't need to have a determined age or be well fitted or know about electricity. You just can be just someone that can help. And there's something that you can do during the missions, because there are so many things that you can do. You can play with the kids, you can do bubbles and have fiesta with them, you can help with the team, you can help translate, you can help in so many ways that you don't need to have an area of expertise to participate and to feel part of the team. So everyone is welcome. I love doing missions with my kids because I think it's a way to teach them to get involved with the community, to do good in a community, in not just and you are teaching them a Christian values.
That's for sure. And that's what we love about that as well, to be able to plant a good seed in the hearts of our kids, so that they can continue the legacy moving forward. Now, I have a few questions that I would like to ask, questions that some of the people watching may have, and answering them may help them make their final call and decision to join the mission. So I'm going to be asking these questions, whether Kevin or you, Sarah, would like to answer.
Bring it.
It will be great. The first one is, what is the long term plan to support those who will serve during this short term ministry experience?
Okay. So, what I love about this mission is that it's not just immediate impact, it's lasting impact. So, the systems that we are going to be equipping these schools with, these solar power systems, they're going to last 30 or so years as long as that equipment goes. So, we plan to install a system that's going to last. And then Sarah and her team are there should any technical issues arise. They don't happen often, but when they do, Sarah and her team with Juan and Sadi are able to help the communities troubleshoot if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is, once these systems are up and running, they're usually rock solid.
That's so true. Well said. Okay, another question. What training will the person going on a mission trip or global outreach will receive before, during, and after traveling with this mission group?
So with the Vineyard team, we'll have some pre-trip orientation sessions, maybe 3, and in one of those at least, we'll get the team acquainted with the equipment we'll be using, or the Fiesta or children's ministry supplies we'll be using. You'll be prepared before we leave. And then while we're in the country, you'll get to know our Honduran partners. We're working side by side with Hondurans like Sarah, like names I mentioned before, Juan Martinez, Sadi Ramos, and many others.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get a glimpse of how daily life works in Honduras.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also have a spiritual care leader with our team. In this case, it's Dana Cochran, a name that's very familiar to many of us here at the Vineyard. Dana will be helping steward our team in a spiritual sense, just being that spiritual guide along our journey while we're in Honduras. And then when we get back, of course, we'll have all sorts of opportunities to share the way God was moving on our trip.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So let's move on. Does the mission, let me see, does the mission will carry out or feel a need expressed by those we hope to serve? I think maybe Sarah could answer
Yeah,
that
that's a good one for
question.
Sarah. She's right there.
Yeah, does the mission will carry out, will feel the need expressed by those who we hope to serve? You are key in identifying the projects, and you get to hear from these communities the need they have. So what the impact will be, we're going to be meeting those needs. Tell us more about it.
Yes, 100%. We're working right now in an area where it's one of the largest and more difficult to access. It's a very remote area in Honduras, and people over there, they are small towns, and they do have schools, but they don't have any access to electricity. And they have heard, because we have been working in Juticalpa, in Olancho, I think the last five years. So they have shared the news that there are people with SonLight Power and the municipality working, giving solar systems for public rural schools. So
Mhm.
they are like we have a list of all kind of schools, and people sending notes and pictures and saying, come to our community, please help us. We will be ready. We will be expecting for you. So first we sent Mr. Simeon, that is a person that works with the local church in Juticalpa, and they visit the community. They send information about the classrooms, the latrines, and how far the school is, if there will be access through the roads to that community. And they are just expecting to have access to electricity. Really, their expectations is just have that opportunity to have electricity. That is something that our government will not provide in 15 or 20 years, because it's really very expensive, and it's not really a priority for our government to do that for public schools.
Yeah. Can I just share a couple examples of
Sure.
how we're coming alongside to meet local needs? And that is, Sarah's been great about sharing information about projects that have been installed or communities where we've impacted with solar power. One that comes to mind is a community in, oh,
Give me a second here.
we may have lost our video here.
Let me see here. Give me just a second.
Can you still hear me, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep talking. So there was one community I can remember where, Sarah, you sent some pictures in the aftermath of one of our installations where there were parent-teacher conferences held for the first time after daylight hours. Now, it's hard for us to imagine here in North America what that means, but in these remote parts of Honduras, the primary economic driver is agriculture, farming, and daylight hours are precious. For a parent to come to a school during the day to meet with a teacher would likely mean sacrificing income or even putting food on the table in the evening. So to have the ability to have lights in the classroom so that you can extend the usable hours of a class beyond just daylight hours means so much. So we saw these pictures of these parents meeting with these teachers in the, after the sun had set, under the light provided by the solar power system. There's a battery system in the school so that it stores the energy for the nighttime use. But you also had kids there entertained by the multimedia tools that were equipped by the solar power system. All that was enabled by having that system there. Another example that comes to mind is another community. I forget the name of the school, San Clemente, where it only had a room to accommodate grades K through 5. And after 5th grade, kids would have to go and either work in the fields with their parents, or perhaps, in the case of the young girls, go work and find a job as a domestic servant. And both avenues really have very little in terms of future opportunities. Well, when you add the presence of light and multimedia education to these schools, you're now able to make that building, that facility, usable beyond those typical hours. So they were able to extend the curriculum not just from K through 5, but add another grade, 6th grade. 56 kids were able to receive an education after that installation that they otherwise would not have had. Those are really powerful stories of the impact you can make on these trips.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You guys are super cool at answering all these questions. We have a few more questions that I would like to ask, and either one of you can answer them before we go and see another video we have prepared for all of you. How much of the trip's cost is tax deductible?
All of it.
All of it. Good. Let me see. Who will be leading the team and what are their qualifications?
So in this case, the three of us will be co-leading the team. And I also mentioned Dana Cochran will be our spiritual care leader for that trip. We also will have Clay Luna. You saw Clay in the video earlier. Clay is our director of programs. He's an amazing solar installer, and he will be coaching and apprenticing the team that will be installing the solar power system. And part of our team will also be involved in children's ministry, and that's where you and I usually spend most of our time.
Yes. And again, in combined experience, just in my case personally, I have been involved with missions for over 14 years, and you've been beyond those years involved with this organization. And Sarah and Clay, combined experience. We have passion and experience in different areas. And you mentioned some of the aspects of our mission. We have the solar aspect, and we have the ministry aspect of it, and we have those being led by Clay. That he oversees
Clay
all
Luna,
Clay
yeah.
Luna, all the technical aspect of our mission. Yes, it's not Clay or Clay. It's just Clay Luna.
Mhm.
And then we have the ministry aspect. We have fiesta time, where we have a time to share the gospel with the kids, sing songs, and engage with children, families, and communities. And it's a very valuable time where we can get to have even one-on-one interaction. We have interpreters that facilitate the language. In case you are wondering what language is spoken in Honduras, we speak primarily Spanish, and we have a team of interpreters that are supporting those who come to our mission. So, among all of us, we are going to be using our strengths to really leave a mark in those communities, and we are very excited about it. So, you probably are watching and you are feeling that prompt. You are feeling like, oh, what they are talking about, it's something that interests me. If that's you, I really suggest you to go to our website, vineyardcincinnati.com /global /missions. Go to our website and you will be able to read more in depth in terms of what this mission is going to be about, deadlines, and all that stuff. We are halfway there. We still have space for you to fill out. We would love for you to come and be part of our mission. We would love for you to join what the Lord is doing far, not just here locally at Vineyard Cincinnati and our city, but beyond our city. Let's partner together and share Jesus and share the gospel with those communities in Honduras. So if that's you, if you've been praying about it, if you've been curious about the opportunity, we've been engaging with many of you. We've been answering many questions. We've been talking about it. This might be the time for you to take action. Here we go. For you to take action. That's the website. There we go. So it might be time for you to take action and go and register. Very good.
Read details. Yes.
Mm-hmm. For you
Okay.
to register, you only need to sign up with $100 to secure your spot, and then we facilitate a page which you can utilize to raise some of the funding for the trip. So if you have more questions, feel free to add those questions in the comment section below. Or yes, we are going to be answering any of those questions very soon. All right, so we are going to be wrapping up very soon, but we have one more video to show. But before we do that, I will ask one more question.
Great.
Where will our team be staying? This is a question everybody asks, because when it comes to going to, in country overseas, people need to imagine, and know where is that we are going to be staying. And I think no better person to answer this question than Sarah.
Okay, we stay in a very good hotel here in Tegucigalpa that it's very adapted to American, and it doesn't meet your daily standards probably, but we try our best. And in Juticalpa we stay in another hotel that is not as comfortable as the one in Tegucigalpa, but it has the basics. I really appreciate that people that come to Honduras are prepared and to put away some of the comforts that you're used to, and take and take that time to take that for good. We are traveling 3 days to different schools. The schools that we pick are very far away. It will take us 3 hours to get to the schools. That is the part that is more difficult, although you will enjoy it because we ride in the backs of the truck and it's fun. And that's basically what we do. We have different hotels where we stay.
Very cool. So I'm prepared. After you answer that question, we'd like to add something to that.
Yeah, I just want to speak into this video before we play it because
Tell us more.
what really is cool. These trips are unique in that there are so many aspects that appeal to so many different people. For adventure type seekers, if you're like a Wild at Heart fan, John Eldridge, that book. If you're a guy and just like adventure, there's something about riding
Like
in
you.
the back. Yeah, it really does appeal to me that even the journeys to and from the schools, it is hard to get there. And you're traveling in the back of this pickup truck. And as you're doing this, you're watching just the amazingly beautiful surroundings of the mountainsides of Honduras. It is a beautiful country. And you're just soaking it all in on this 1 or 2 hour journey or more, along with your fellow teammates. It's an incredible experience. Just the journey itself is memorable. And then you get to meet the wonderful people that are in these communities that in some cases have been praying for years to have reliable power in their community. It's just a really cool experience. So I'll let the video speak for itself here.
All right. So if we are ready, we are going to watch this video in which we partner with. Can you tell us a little bit more about before we watch the video?
So this video we're going to see involves a partnership that SonLight Power has with a company, a business up in Holland, Michigan called Hoekstra Electrical Services. It's a very compatible organization with what we do, and they're very kingdom-minded. Paul Hoekstra, the founder of Hoekstra Electric, took a team of his from his company and their families to journey with us to install, like Sarah said, 3 solar power systems at 3 schools. So here we go.
We were looking for some opportunities for our staff, our team at Hoekstra Electric to serve. It's a big, important part of what we do, and we do that locally, regionally, and we're trying to do that internationally too. And through a series of events, found SonLight Power online, and here we are in Honduras.
The reason that I said yes to coming to Honduras with SonLight Power, one, for our Hoekstra Electric team. Part of what we did while we were here in Honduras was go out 3 different days to 3 schools in small villages and communities to install solar panels systems. It was just a great experience to be able to take some of the things that we did as electricians in our day-to-day and bring that to Honduras, to villages that really need power.
So the team this week, being with the solar team, we helped to install the panels and raising the pole, putting up lights, switches, the box, everything like that. I helped a lot with wiring up switches. I learned a lot about just how it all works.
My role this week was in the children's ministry, the Fiesta as they call it. And I was just playing with the kids, helping hand out the gifts we had brought for them, and just connecting with the children.
Love how the solar combines with what we're doing with the kids and the community, and just presenting the gospel in a really unique way.
A memory for me would definitely be just like getting to know a few of the kids really well and just hanging around with them and trying to build a little relationship with them before we leave. And I just love it.
I think one of the moments that I will share when I'm back home that will probably stick with me for a long time as I talk about this trip to Honduras would be showing up in these small communities and the anticipation from the people in these villages that were waiting for us. They were sitting with balloons, holding signs, welcome signs. I'm so excited to see a group coming to install power, of which we heard some people praying for years that they would be able to have some source of power to help the community, to continue to push education. And
yeah, I think the message that I'll take back is just really encouraging our team to get out and serve, to stretch themselves, get out of their comfort zone.
Many people on our trip right now have already talked about, like, when's the next trip? I'm signing up.
I would 100% recommend going on it because you get to meet new people, see new things, eat good food, and it's just all in all a really good experience.
If somebody is considering this type of trip or on the fence about it, do it. Jump in with both feet, go on the trip, and you won't regret it.
We are back.
This is Al.
We are back, and we are almost wrapping up this live video.
That was awesome, by the way. That was a great
Yes.
memory. Yeah. That
Yes,
was,
great memories.
I can't wait to go back.
And thank you to all of you that are tuning in, watching from all over. And for those that will watch, we are so thankful for all of you. And we hope you sooner than later make the decision to join us to go to Honduras for our global outreach. All right. So before we go, we would like to give some final thoughts. And before we do that, Sarita, we would like just to say hello to some of the people that have been watching. Mr. Bob, hola. Hello, Kev. And then it says, we are Applebee's right now. Okay, free commercial. Very cool. Hondureña desde Wisconsin. All right, saluditos, Lady. Un abrazo. She has a question. How do you guys select the places, towns that you visit in Honduras? That's a good question. How do we do that? Who would like to answer that question?
We take Sarah's recommendation.
We try to have the biggest kids so we can have a big community. So we tell them there has to be 50 kids in the school or more. It has been hard after COVID because some parents will stop sending their kids to school. So it has been an additional incentive for parents to keep the students in the school. So we choose a community that it will benefit more families in that community and will have more students. Also, the community cannot have access to energy in 5 kilometers around, because it will be unlikely for our government to take the electricity to those places. So it has at least to have those two criteria to cover so we can go.
Very nice. Well said. All right. So then we have here Maggie. Maggie, hi. I love you. Sending love and prayers. We are sending love and prayers to you as well, Maggie. We love you. Adrian, the executive director of our healing center, says thankful for you guys and the work you are doing in Honduras. Thank you, Adrian. All right. Thank you to all of you that, have been joining us tonight. You may be able to watch this, in the morning, the afternoon. We are going to be able to have this video available for those who may, watch later. So a few words before we wrap up this video. I'm going to get started with Sarita. Sarita, first of all, thank you so much for all that you do for our people in Honduras. And also, we cannot wait to be with all of you this year. And if you can just share a few words before we wrap up this video today.
Okay, I love that last video and how the kindergarten teacher says, jump with both feet. Take your decision right now. It will definitely take you out of your comfort zone, but it will provide that personal and spiritual growth for you as a person and as a Christian. So it's a very good idea to come and do something that will work 20, 15, 30 years for a community, and that will help a lot of children study. It will do things like we take for granted, for example, to charge a cell phone. They cannot even charge their cell phone. They have to walk like miles for a place to where they can charge their phone and answer an emergency call or hear the news or communicate with the families. So you are doing a great thing for a community, just bringing electricity, a solar panel system to those communities with SonLight Power.
Well, thank you so much. And by the way, you are going to have Sarah and Antonio and the whole crew from Honduras leading us into, lots of adventure. And it's just, we are going to be having so much fun there. I cannot wait.
We should mention too, it's not all work. There is at least one day where we're doing a little cultural immersion. We typically go and do an R&R day or outing somewhere within the country. It's very depending on where we go and serve, but sometimes it means going to a really famous waterfall or ecotourism type activities, perhaps a trip to the Caribbean side, the beaches there in Honduras. There's just so many cool options to kind of take in while we're there.
Yeah, so you take this opportunity to go and sign up on the website. And we cannot wait to hear from all of you to join this trip. Sarita, again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to see you soon. We'll continue promoting and talking about this great work, kingdom work that's being done in Honduras. And Kev, it's time for us to wrap up as well. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us today. We have, let's say, one last comment here. It says, that's awesome. I hope someday my husband and I will be able to come with you guys. It will be a blessing. Thanks for loving Honduras. Absolutely. We love the whole world.
Someday is today. Well, it's in October.
In October. Well, I hope that can happen very soon. Again, thank you so much for being with us today.
There's
It's
Clay.
gonna be there's Clay. There he is. Thank you for joining us. Thank you again, and see you soon.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios.